What's up, guys? I'm so glad that you guys are here. Man, I really just want to talk to you guys about like unlocking the next level inside of yourself, right? A lot of us don't understand that we already have the next level inside of us. We just have to unlock it, and a part of why I'm saying this is because like to market in the right way, you have to understand that you have an inner genius inside of you and that God has given you the ability to produce wealth. And once you believe that, now you can focus on tapping into that ability that God has given you to produce wealth, right? So I say all of these things because I need you to understand that just as much as you need the tools and the mechanisms to get the job done, you also need that belief system attached to your brain. You have to understand that it is inside of you. And when you go to these masterminds and you go to these classes, it's only unlocking what's already inside of you. If you first believe that you have something valuable, you'll carry yourself different, not arrogantly, not prideful, but you will have confidence, you will have grit, and you will know that, hey, I'm in this room because I belong in this room, and you won't feel out of place. And when you know that you belong somewhere, you will carry yourself as such, you will speak as such, and you will be that very thing that you see yourself being because you're already that. Get that in your head, let it soak in, let it embed. You know what I'm saying? Like, get it, understand it for real. No matter where you come from, no matter where you started. You ever heard the saying that it's not about where you started, it's about where you finish, how you finish, and also what you do to finish? No one has a perfect blueprint set out for them. It's always a self-discovery journey. You're no different from that billionaire, and that billionaire is no different from you, but what you guys did and what you guys are doing on a daily basis is different. So you have what it takes. You have what it takes. You can go as far as you want to go. You can go as far as you need to go, right? So stop doubting yourself. Crawl from under that rock. You're not Patrick. I know that was a little corny, but yeah, get it. Like, crawl from under the rock. You're not Patrick. And understand that, you have a whole bunch of possibilities and things that you are that you haven't even tapped into. Are you ready to tap into that next level? Are you ready to understand who God called you to be? Everything is marketing. Everything is marketing. And if you have a business, you need to know marketing. If you're living life, you need to know marketing because you're marketed to every single day of your life. The food you eat, the clothes you wear, someone marketed to you. You dig what I'm saying? So let's get up. Let's go. Let's go for the goal. This is Graphics Plug. Check out graphicsplug.com for all your design and marketing and branding needs. And I hope you guys enjoyed this seminar, man. Show some love. Graphics.plug ATL on Instagram. And once again, graphicsplug.com. Let's go. Let's go.
So first thing first, I just want to give honor what honor is due to CEO herself, Miss Alexis, and Mama Rose. And when I tell you guys, it's just been such a blessing, to stand before someone of her stature, her heart, and the grace that she has. And just, sometimes I do silent interviews with her, I try not to talk to her like too much and mess her up, but I'll be having questions. I'll be like, so how long did it take you? And I ain't gonna tell too much of your story, but I just want y'all to know, like, she went through it. She went through the process. So I just want everybody to know, like, if you decide, I'm gonna say when you decide to do this mentorship program with her, you're gonna get the real, the authentic. You're not gonna get someone out here who's just showing you a lifestyle and just telling you any and everything and having you run behind them, because I've been through those type of people. You're gonna really have someone who can give you value and who have years of working her craft, spending thousands of dollars, getting trained. Because when you have a mentor, they're made to collapse the time it's going to take you. You don't always have to just learn through what you go through. You can also learn from what other people go through. And just like when we look in the Bible and we see different people and we pay attention to the stories, sometimes God wants you to have wisdom because he says, my people die or perish due to a lack of knowledge. So the more knowledge and understanding you get about that thing, you can, kind of push past it. So just to give you guys a brief introduction, I'm Journae Stanley. I'm a graphic designer. I'm also a music artist. So I say that because I was never supposed to be a graphic designer in my mind. And I just remember in my 10th grade year, I was going to Lovejoy High School in Clayton County, and I was just trying to get someone to do like my graphics for like my music covers and stuff like that. And people would just charge me an arm and a leg. So I'm like, yo, let me figure something out. Let me try to do this myself. So it all started with a Pixar. It's this app called Pixar that I used to do graphics on. Anybody know about Pixar? Yeah, I know about Pixar. So it's a different story now. Back then, Pixar was different from what it is now. So I started doing graphics using, you know, my phone or whatever. And I remember I was staying in Fayetteville. My mom had this raggedy HP computer. It was raggedy because I messed it up, you know. But, you know, I was just on there. We didn't have Wi-Fi or anything, but I was just on there. She used to have this Android phone, right? So I used to download pictures on that Android phone. I used to hook it up to the computer. And then I found, God, forget, he already forgave me for this. I found this cracked version of Photoshop that I didn't pay for. You know, so I put it on the computer and I would just, night after night, I would just be playing around with it, making collages and stuff like that. So now this is my 9th grade year, summer, before I went to Lovejoy High School, well back, and they had added an intro to digital design. So I want to talk about how God works in mysterious ways, because what were the odds of me that summer learning about a program that I would then have the opportunity to take a class for that following year that they just had added. So I say that to say, once I got back in school, right, my teacher, you know, she realized that I was kind of advanced and she started using me, right, to help all the other people. So I'm saying all this to come back around and let you know that everything that you used to do, whether it was journaling, whether it was writing books, whatever it used to be when you was younger, don't ever let it go, right? And everybody is in here. I hear God saying that everybody is in here because you guys need to be restored. There's a lot of things that you put on the back burners, and God is saying that you need to start doing it again. So everything that you know about marketing, I just want you to throw it away right now. Like whatever you learn about marketing, and I just want to give a new mindset about marketing. Okay, so marketing, right? You got to approach it in an unselfish way. So when I first started doing marketing, one of my closest, I feel like my closest encounters with marketing was when I was doing Forex. And it was something that I was noticing. I was like, these guys are pushing this lifestyle that they ain't got, talking about these numbers that they don't have. Now, I'm not talking about everybody, but I'm talking about my experience, you know, with that situation. And I was noticing that they were using other people's stories and acting like it was their own. They didn't have anything to show for it. So now they're misleading people just to get sign-ups, right? So I just want you to know that when you market the right way, it's gonna be unselfish, right? So even when you're on your social media, right, you want to give first, sell later, right? So if you don't have anything to give, you shouldn't be selling anything, right? So take a time out to learn whatever your craft may be, whether it's doing lashes, permanent makeup, whatever it may be. You want to take time out and just learn. We are in the age of information right now. You can go on YouTube, Google, and just about learn anything. So once you find that thing and you find that passion that you really want to help people in, then you start to learn about it. And you start to just, sometimes, you know, it's okay to give away for free. What do I mean by that? For instance, if you have a program, right, don't start giving income claims. Like, don't be saying, if you ain't made 6 figures, don't be trying to tell other people, oh, 7-figure business that I can start, 6-figure business, and you know, you scratch your head like, how am I going to tell them how to make 6 figures? I have not made 6 figures. Just be honest, right? So wherever you may be right now, you might have did your first year and made $2,000. Guess what? There's somebody who has $0, right? There's some people who have a 6-figure job, but they never made a dime with their business. You might not have made 6 figures, but you can still coach someone who has 6 figures because they need to make 6 figures in a way that will bring them financial freedom. So you can be financially free without being a millionaire. You can be in debt and you're a millionaire. You can be broke and be a millionaire. So you have to be able to understand and break these things down, right? So the only time that you should be comparing, there's a thing that's good comparison and bad comparison. So any other form of comparing that you guys have been doing that's making you down, that's making you depressed, that's making you say or count other people's pockets and you asking God, how they got all that? They ain't got that. Stop it. The only time I want you guys to be doing comparison is doing what I like to call market research. So for instance, what type of business you have? You do crypto? Okay, what kind of business you have? Okay, so I'm gonna use clothing line. So for instance, you have a clothing line. Who is somebody that you look up to and who has a clothing line that you like? Okay, so few. So when you look at those people, the only time that you should be comparing yourself is you should be like, okay, they have a certain social media presence. And you know that you need that type of social media presence. So what you do is you study, right? So month by month, as you are implementing new strategies into your business, you want to see, am I getting a little closer to those numbers or am I dwindling down? Because at the end of the day, if you want to grow, You have to be growing towards something. You need a standard. Just like if there's any Christians in the building, what's our standard? Who's the standard? Facts, Jesus. So that's the standard. So it's just like, at the end of the day, that's a good comparison. So now I want to dive a little bit deeper, into digital marketing. So as I said before, you want to be able to understand your field, right? Get that information. But you also want to understand your target audience. Has anybody ever heard about a buyer's persona? Has anyone heard? If you have heard of a buyer's persona, just raise your hand. Okay, so we need to change that. So that's some homework that I want you guys to do is go home and look up what a buyer's persona is. So basically a buyer's persona is being able to understand the pain points of who you're servicing, right? So for instance, if you say you do clothing, right? So some pain points may be, say if you targeted someone and maybe they have a hard time finding clothing in their size or something like that. Or they may have trouble finding, clothing to go with a particular shoe or something that they have. So now a pain point for you could be, this would be your post, right? So your post would be like this. Are you struggling with finding the right attire for those shoes that you just ordered off Amazon? Well, we have clothing for all types of styles. We have clothes for date nights. So you want to dive into the pain points of people who you're servicing. So another quick tip that you can do is utilizing Instagram polls, right? And you can ask questions, right? And you don't have to have 20,000 followers, 30,000 followers. Did you know that someone can have 10K followers, 12K followers, and making less than that person who have 1,000? Why? Because it's all about cultivating the audience that you have. Instead of being discouraged about the audience you don't have, you want to cultivate the audience that you do have, right? So in about 2, 3 years, 4 years, how are you doing in life? You in school? How's school going? You want to treat your social media like that. You want to treat it like everyone is family. And if you treat everyone like their family, guess what? You won't even be able to be selfish, right? But when you start looking at paying attention to the dollar sign, and that's all you can see, you are now in the wrong mindset, because now you're in a mindset of, I'm going to do whatever to make the money instead of I'm going to do whatever to help you, right? And as you can see, how Alexis did this event for free, that's letting you know right there that she's in this to actually give first. And if you see the value, now bring you into a more intimate setting, with her mentorship program. So I just want to always say this too, like even some of you guys who do the mentorship, I literally want you guys to just be note takers. Come in a room, as much as I know or as much as I don't know, I'm going to always be the dumbest in the room. When Alexis is talking, I don't know nothing. I'm just listening. I'm just paying attention. I'm watching body language. I'm watching her talk. I'm watching how she, when there's phone, don't get me for this, but when she on the phone sometimes, it's not eavesdropping, but I like to hear how she conducts herself, and that's what I'm saying. If you're always a student, when you come in the building, you're going to be able to learn in every situation, because God strategically places you around certain people. When you walk in a supermarket, you could be standing next to the person who can unlock something in your life, but if you are trapped and you looking for it to be one way, you and God ain't gonna get along, because God works in mysterious ways. And I just want to say this right now, because I want you guys to make sure you have this mindset. So can you repeat after me? I believe that God has given me the ability to produce wealth. Okay, so now listen to this. I want you guys to know that when you came in here, you have the ability. So you're not reaching for someone to give you an ability, but you are learning from someone who have been tapped into their ability to show you the proper steps that they have did to tap into what God has given you. And I feel like that's the disconnect a lot of times. We feel like someone has to give us something. So now instead of you being in the millionaire's presence, asking the right questions, asking those 50 questions that you prepare, 100 questions, you just, my bills, you just give me, can I just get $100?
That's right.
If they give you those $100, it's going to be a disservice to you, because she going to teach you how to fish. You feel me? So if you get taught a skill, guess what you're going to give your kids? A skill. But if somebody just gives you something, what you going to give your kids? Because if they don't have, even if somebody gave you $1 million, right? And you use it, you pay bills, you do this. By the time you have kids, depending on when you get that $1 million, it's not going to be sustained. But if you can go through the ranks and understand that everything that you're going through in your life is for a reason and it's teaching you something, no matter how bad it looks, God is teaching you something. And I hear that there's a lot of people in here now, and let me know how I am on time, that God knows everything. He knows that bill that you were stressing out about paying. He knows about that friend who you think your friend but really talking behind your back. And I'm saying this because every detail that you need to know, if you would just, that ability to produce wealth, right? When you dig inside, you will be able to have that discernment that God is trying to give you. And early on, you know, when I first got saved, you know, I just used to think about that God and business was disconnected. But this is kingdom business. You think God wants you to be broke? He said you are blessed to be a blessing. I'm a firm believer in paying tithes. You see what I'm saying? God isn't trying to take anything from you. Just like Alexis said, if your hands are closed, $10, man, you come back. You want what? And you just holding on to something. Scared money don't what?
Make money.
Right. So when you learn to give and you become a giver, you're going to reap that which you sow. So I just want you to understand, as you guys are in here and you're applying yourself, listen, get off your phone. We can be on our phone any other time. When we in here, let's focus. Let's get the value so we can bring it back to the village and make sure everybody can eat. And that's all from me.